Bon après-midi tout le monde, j'espère que vous allez bien. Et je sais parce que Before the Billions me comprend très bien dans mon français, il va traduire le live pour tout le monde. Of course not. I'm not gonna have I'm not gonna have Before the Billions translate everything I just said. Yes, of course, Before the Billions. I know you have no clue, but it's okay. Um, but hey, Wally's up to his tricks as well, I see. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So, of course, for all of you who do not understand freedom fries, what I just said was French for good afternoon. So, I hope everybody is doing well and that are having a great weekend so far. So, yes. Today. I had to change things up because I didn't have as much time as I would hope to watch the entire series of A Cowboy Bebop. So today I will only be really talking about the first 11 episodes that I watched. And then next week I'll present episode 12 through 26. Excuse me, 12 through 26. Hopefully I'll be done by then. So, anyways, what I'll do today, I didn't officially have any guest panelists planned for tonight. So, it most likely will be a short live unless somebody afterwards wants to come up and either ask questions or maybe somebody watched the show already and wants to come up and discuss it. So hopefully, it'll be interesting enough, but it will be what it'll be today. Okay. I did want to do a live to sort of continue my series of talking about movies. So if anybody at any point does want to talk about movies with me, uh, please feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion of a movie or TV show that they would like to talk about. I usually watch horror or sci-fi. But as you guys saw, I did talk about Legally Blonde a couple of weeks ago, so I'm open to hear suggestions for other shows or movies that you guys might want to watch. Bonsoir, Peter. J'espère que vous allez bien. Thank you, Peter, Wally, Before the Billions, and OG Patrice, sorry, for being here tonight with me. So, today I will be talking about, like I said, Cowboy Bebop, which, for those of you who don't know, is a excuse me, is a Japanese anime. Okay, so I'm trying to get out with my comfort zone, even though I just said I usually talk about horror or sci-fi, but it is a kind of sci-fi anime movie. So tonight obviously there will be spoilers, so I'm just gonna put my banner up. Just give me a second here, guys. So obviously front, and we'll add that as well. Just tick through. Okay, so the show, to summarize a little bit, a general summary of the show is that basically it occurs in 2070, so about 50 years from now. The Earth is no longer livable, and people are living on other planets in the galaxy. So I think technically there's some people living on Saturn or Mars or even Venus. So you're seeing people basically traveling through space, and it follows the main character, who's Spike. In this show, he's a bounty hunter. A keyword or synonym of bounty hunters is cowboys. Okay, so even though this movie is mostly, sorry, anime is mostly a sci-fi show. It does have a certain amount of cowboy references to it. So obviously, like all other bounty hunter shows or where there are bounty hunters involved, of course, every episode you see him going after various bounties, and unfortunately, although he's a great martial artist, he fails miserably every single time to capture the bounty. On a couple of occasions, his bounty gets canceled. We know what the word canceled replaces here, folks. On a couple of occasions, the bounty ends up in the hands of the police first before he can bring in the person, say, "Hey, I captured him. I captured him. Give me my bounty." Um, and I think on one of the episodes, one of the more recent episodes, the bounty was basically a computer, a satellite, I should say, and so he didn't get a bounty for that either. So, but the show also has other characters that end up joining him on his adventures. So you have Jet, who's a former ISSP officer. ISSP is basically their, intersolar system police. So it's a kind of FBI, I guess, for the galaxy, essentially, where they deal with crime in general, and they're the ones that authorize the creation of bounty hunters to be something that's utilized throughout the galaxy. And then they're joined later on by other characters on their adventures. You have Valentine, who's former bounty that they had, who turned into an ally, not by any wonderful means. And then you also have Ed, who's also a con artist or hacker, I guess would be more of the best description, and a dog named Ein, who's technically a corgi, but who has human-like intelligence. So basically, you see them going through different adventures and so forth, and failing oftentimes at doing their one job, which is, of course, being bounty hunters. So that's basically the show. Um, my overall rate of the show is it visually is very nice to look at, but it was also a bit surprising because to me when I first saw it I did not think of it as um, oh, okay, 1 second guys, there's something in the chat that I have to deal with here right away, or else that's going to cause me a problem. Sorry guys. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm going to. Okay. No. Give me a second, guys. I'm just dealing. I think you guys see that person that I'm trying to deal with. So just give me a second. Uh, yeah, definitely before the billions. Unfortunately, people are taking over, and that's surprising. Cloud chaser. If only I had cloud to chase Wally. If only. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. And I'm usually not the person that has. I think I've had one other situation relatively similar where somebody somewhere said something, and it was like, oh wait, I have to quietly deal with that. Anyway, so so anyway, what could you do? But yeah, so that's taken care of. Anyway, so as I was saying, I really like the show visually. It has a very nice design, and I mean you can tell because it was officially released in 1998. I was in 1998. I was like, what? I'm dating myself here. I was probably 17 or so. Um, so I mean, I'm used to that visual style. So for me, it definitely brought back of, oh, this is a classic cartoon. This is an old school like cartoon, the kind that I know for those of you who watched Melissa Varian's live stream yesterday. They were talking about their favorite cartoons growing up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. This reminded me of those cartoons in the 90s that you would stay up on, Saturday morning. You would get up, sorry, Saturday morning to watch, and you would have like your cereal to watch, in the morning and spend really all morning watching that. So obviously these days, this is not something, many kids these days go through, since you can basically watch cartoons of all kinds all day, every day, right? So definitely had that kind of style. And when I found out afterwards that it was actually a Japanese anime, I was a bit surprised. Because for me, even though I saw, the Japanese, I'm like, oh, that's interesting that an American show would use, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's an American show that's targeting, Japanese, audience members and so forth, because the style is much more similar to what an American cartoon would look like, rather than what you would see in a traditional Japanese anime. So that was really, not jarring, but it took me aback for a moment. I was like really not expecting it to be. Okay, yeah, no, this was created in Japan by Japanese artists. But I guess at one point, maybe this was, a unique where they wanted to be more American or Western friendly, or maybe, the Japanese artists were still discovering your style. But yeah, there's still a certain amount of elements that is much more, resemblant of what you would see in Japanese animation or anime, basically, right? Like Spike seems to have very long legs in the show. It's definitely, the proportions are not necessarily sticking to the normal proportions that you would see in a cartoon, or that you would see for if you want to represent the human physique or the human body in the normal way, right? Um, the other thing that I liked is that, unlike a lot of cartoons from the 90s, is that you had a storyline that went from episode to episode. So even though every episode focused on a new bounty that they were going after, or a new storyline that they were dealing with, it still harked back to what you saw previously, except for obviously the first episode. And then it also, like what you saw in that current episode, plays into other episodes as well. So, of course, in the first episode, that's when you see Spike going after his first bounty and fails miserably. And of course, that sets up that in every single storyline, he fails miserably. And, that gets, thrown to his face that, hey, you lost another one. And hey, did you remember that you lost this bounty at, So it was really fun to see how they played that kind of element with each other, and that they were really going into, even though each story and each episode is independent, you're still harping back to other stuff as well. So that was really fun. Let's see, what else did I really enjoy? I also like the fact that it was, shorter episodes, because a lot of the Japanese cartoons or animes that I notice on Netflix tends to be a good 45 minutes to an hour. And for some reason, for me, since I grew up on cartoons being half an hour, the second that they're now, I see that, oh, they're 45 minutes or an hour. You have full fledged, Japanese movies, animated movies, I should say, that are an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. What are you guys doing to me? Like for my, I guess because I spent, 15 years watching cartoons that are half an hour, my brain just does not want to accept cartoons being longer than half an hour. So I definitely appreciated, them being about 20, 25 minutes. And I guess they consider the fact that 5 or 6 minutes is to consider the fact that there's probably like 4 or 5 minutes of commercial breaks, right? So yes, so I'm just gonna highlight some of your guys' comments. Let's see here. Da-da-da. So of course we have Peter saying bonsoir. I hope you're doing well, Peter. Hello again to you, Wally. Glad to see before the billions that you were saying hi to everybody. And I saw your workout video. My goodness, William, you're out there in the world. 10-hour live stream and still going to the gym and everything. And of course, we have everybody's favorite princess, Princess C. Shh, I'm trying to focus. Y'all too loud out here. Okay, well, keep it down. Shh, everybody, shh. We're letting her work. Shh, don't distract her. Come on, Princess C. Who you kidding? Tried to pretend like you're working. Put the pen down and get joining with us here. My goodness, Princess. So yeah, so let's see some of the criticisms I have of this show. Do I have any? I guess some of it, like the quote unquote fake tension, let's call it tension. And I think you guys can hopefully, we're not going to use the S word. It's 6:20 on a Saturday afternoon, so you do have to be more, be more delicate with your words when you're on YouTube. So some of the tension between the characters, it seems kind of like forced. Particularly, I think, I guess they were trying to be jokey with when they said it. When Valentine and Jet, they had, uh, what's his name, Spike, made a comment of, "Hey, you two should be dating" or something like that. It was like, yeah, no, I don't see these two going out, especially since later on you discover that Jet had a very serious relationship before he left the ISSP, because he was a former member, former police officer in it, to become a bounty hunter when his I don't think they ever make it clear if she was his wife, but they were very much in a very serious relationship with each other. They were living together. So it was like, yeah, no, you really don't see these two characters together. If anything, you'd see more Valentine and Spike as a couple, but definitely not Valentine and Jet. You would see more maybe Jet and Valentine as good friends, kind of thing. And of course, Edward came in later on. You would see her more as um, that kid sister that's just really annoying everybody. And in fact, I think in episode 11, they go into a whole storyline where something that Spike had um, forgotten in the fridge mutates into a new life form. It's really crazy. Um, Bites everybody. She just runs off and, yeah, I'm gonna go find this, creepy alien thingy, and it's just like jumping around with Ein the dog, and it's just like, come on, it's like really what a bratty little 11 or 12-year-old girl probably would do, and really just acting foolish. But she's also supposed to be this very intelligent, very capable hacker, and I think in episode 10, that's how she's introduced. She hacks basically she's living on Earth. But like I said at the beginning, because Earth is, was basically destroyed, humans are now living underground and impoverished and really in a, bad situation. I was going to use the S word. Sorry about that, guys. But, she kind of had to live on her own, secluded. So she's not really socialized as to how to behave with people. So she becomes very, attached to a computer, essentially to a satellite that ends up uh, drawn the hieroglyphs. I don't know if you guys saw those, like those Aztecs hieroglyphs and everything. It ends up drawn, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's a hacker, it's a hacker." And no, it turns out to be a satellite that just like, yeah, I was just bored. And um, one of the things I forgot to mention I do like about the show, it kind of reminded me a lot of Futurama. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show, especially the first, first season or two. It has a lot of that wackiness of, what are they going to get into next? And the main character, despite him trying his best, just seems to always fail no matter what, and really just seems to get himself and everybody else in trouble. Good evening, Trash Can Wave. So glad to see you here. I'm so glad that you've come and enjoyed us and joined us. God, my brain does not want to work with me anytime. And boy, if you guys don't start clipping me, I'm going to be very disappointed. Um, so that's the bulk of what I wanted to say about the show. There's lots of little elements about the show that, for me, I don't know what you guys did anybody see the show? Put a one in the chat if you guys have seen the show at all. You want a remix? No, I tried to actually get one of those Wally, stop it. I am trying to get like before the billions that microphone that he has with all the the audio special effects that he has and so forth. But yeah, boy, it's $160 American, and to have it delivered to Canada, ugh, it's gonna cost me. It's gonna cost me. So it's something that I have to plan for later on. So I don't know. I know I'm gonna ask, but I know what the answer is gonna be. Wally, you're more than welcome to join up the panel and trash can waves. Even though you said it's been a while, you're more than welcome to join. So just give me a second. If not, I'll let you guys decide. We can either end the live now, because like I said, for me, I just want to continue the series. As the lead attorney said about growing your channel, be consistent, keep making make videos, be on the internet, show that you're somebody that is going to be out there and doing this stuff, right? So I'm not going to do that. I want to do this. So for me, I have no problems if nobody wants to come up or has nothing to say. But even if you want to come up just to say hi, how are you? I don't know if Before the Billions wants to practice his French, or if you're too tired, whatever the case might be. And I'll put this comment up. Peter Investor M says, she stole my thunder. You're doing great. So much the Cloud Chaser coming here. Just keep doing your show. Thank you very much. I try my best, but obviously for me and hopefully for you guys as well, it's much more enjoyable when you guys do come up on the panel. But hey, it's up to you. And Trash Can, even if you just want to talk random anime, you're more than welcome to come up. We don't have to talk about, this particular show if you don't want to. Again, you're still welcome to come up, or anybody else, Peter M, Before the Billions, if anybody else wants to come up, that's absolutely fine. And actually, while I'm waiting for you guys to decide if you want to come up, I'm just going to do, because I just finally figured out how to do things, being the professional clout chaser, as Peter says. I finally figured out how to do the polls, because I kept seeing, Before the Billions doing it. I'm like, how is he doing the polls? And I'm like, oh yeah, you can just go to your YouTube and open the live and put it. So I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna ask you guys if you want me to continue doing these series or not, and we'll see what kind of answers I get. So give me a second. I'll give you guys a chance. So if I go quiet here, in fact, can I? Hello, Uncle Stu. How you doing? Glad to see you. I know you're not a big anime fan, Uncle Stu, but I'm glad to see you coming in here and chatting. I did open up the StreamYard panel for anybody to come up. So if you want to come up, even if it's to talk about Star Trek, the new generation, the next generation, or something else, you're more than welcome. Um, Same thing with you, Princess. Yes, your answer is going to be C. Yeah, good answer. If you want to come up and talk about the show or talk about anything else, you guys are more than welcome to come up. So I'm just going to go finish that little poll. So just give me a second. Um, So it's a really simple poll, guys. Yes or no. Basically asking you guys if you want me to continue these series. Now I said movies, but it can be about TV shows or anything else. Okay. So I hope you guys answer, be honest. And if you do see this, and this is for general people seeing this later on the replay, please leave me a comment with whether or not you want me to continue this series, and if you have any kind of movies or TV shows that you want to talk about. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to StreamYard. Oh, it sucks, Uncle Stu, that you never got the messages, but I assume, Uncle Stu, check your trash bin or your unwanted your other folders in Gmail. Sometimes Google or whatever, it sends it to the other folders rather than to your inbox because it considered as maybe like spam or something. So check to see if you see Princess C's emails there. So hopefully you guys get in touch with each other. And Uncle Stu, I will try to contact you as well. I do want to set up a date and time for our talk and walk that I know we've both briefly mentioned. Hello, blind guy, his wife, their life. I'm glad to see you here. Um, oh, it's sent it by yeah, IG. Okay, sorry, I had assumed that it was by Gmail or what have you. No, the IG, if that I'm not unfortunately too great about. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to figure it out or try contacting Melissa Jane. She's another YouTuber that's pretty good on Instagram stuff. So okay. Oh, you uncles, do you just send it on email? So that's weird that you guys haven't been able to, get in touch with each other, neither through Instagram nor through Gmail. That's weird. And I've noticed, even with YouTube, every once in a while, that it's been acting out pretty wonky. Outlaw Star and Trigun. I'll have to look those up. Trash Can. I don't know those shows. Um, Okay, so you guys are just talking to each other. That's always great. Great that you guys are chatting it up. If you guys have a question for me, just let me know. I don't see any takers for people who want to join me for the show. But let me see if I can find some artwork or something that I can show you guys about. Because it does feel, here, I'm going to show you guys this. The posters and advertisements for the show are is pretty actually pretty interesting for uh, Cowboy Bebop. Uh, Let me see this. Yeah, I just started. It's relatively a new experience for me. Trash Can Waves. I'm not huge on it. I just started reading the Alita manga. It's pretty interesting. I did do about half of Death Note, of course. So that was pretty interesting. So let me do this here. Okay, okay. So I'm going to show you guys this. So as you can see, obviously this is the Wikipedia page for Cowboy Bebop. And as you can see, this is one of the posters. So as you can see, it kind of feels a little bit of that more old-timey 1970s, 1980s style of poster that you would see, even though the show was made in 1998 and it was set for 2070. So I can imagine for 1998, 2070 seems so far away, but for us, it's not even 50 years away from now. I don't know about you guys. Excuse me, technically would still be alive when this would be started, essentially. So yeah, so that's the poster, one of the posters that was used on that. You got I got a hook on Old Man Of. I don't know anything about anime. Well, you know what, Uncle Stu, we'll have to collab a couple of times because I know you said that you love Star Trek, the Next Generation. I love that show as well. Growing up, I was addicted. So if you ever want, either not next week, but the week after, if you want to come on my show and talk about that, you're more than welcome. You can email at me at any point saying, hey, she stole my thunder. You said we'd be doing this, so let's do it. Or I could go on your show, whichever way you want to. It's up to you. Um, and if ever, like I said to you guys before, if ever you guys want to collab with me, either I come on your show or you come on mine, just let me know. I'm not a, difficult person to get in touch with, or at least I hope not. I am a difficult person, just not not to get in touch with. You all know where to find me, okay? And like I said, Uncle Stu, I will contact you to set up a date for a walk and talk, where we would hopefully work together and collab on that. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions. Just put a question mark emoji and ask away. Nothing too inappropriate. Trash can waves. I'm checking you out. I'm like TLA here. I know not to trust you fully. You sometimes you get out of hand a little bit. Quite difficult. You see, you already started to get out of hand. Trash can waves. What am I going to do with you guys? What am I going to do with you? So I guess to get back a little bit to the show, basically what got me into it was, of course, the Netflix suggestions, because obviously, as you guys know, once you start, fooling around and click on this, watch that, it starts suggestion things to you, and the more you watch those suggestions, the more it's going to get. Oh, you like anime? Okay, let me suggest more anime. Now, obviously, as you guys know, I'm in Canada, so obviously some of the shows I have you guys might not have, or vice versa. So for you guys, I know most of you guys are American, so I don't know if there's somebody that's willing and able to check out to see if you guys do have Cowboy Bebop in Netflix USA. Because if you guys want to, next week, if you want to collab and watch the rest of the series or talk about the rest of the series, I should say, with me, you're more than welcome to do so. You're from Jupiter, Princess? Oh my goodness. We found our alien. We found her. We have our robot with Gel Locket, and now now we have our alien with Princess C, who's from Jupiter via Saturn. Very funny. Oh my goodness, Princess, what would we do without you? So yeah, but also another comparison with, I guess, Futurama and Cowboy Bebop is that they're both sci-fi shows that they take place in the future, on like where you have space travel and things like that, right? So it was really interesting, and to me, that's the kind of show that I like, which is why something like Star Trek: The Next Generation is so interesting for me. Because for me it's like you see the possibilities, you see how things can go differently, and what would happen if we were to meet other aliens, other species. I think in Star Trek: The Next Generation there was one. No, not Next Generation. Oh, Star Trek Voyager, where Captain Janeway and her second in command ended up unintentionally creating a new species on another planet. So that's kind of really interesting how things can turn out like that. So we'll put up this question. Hey, Luscious Journey, I'm glad to see you here under your real name and not your 3,000 personas that you have. But if you and your personas want to show up, I'm more than happy to have you here. So this is Trash Can Waves question for me. What kind of anime do I like? Anime with guns or other stuff? You know, since I just got into anime, I'm not really knowledgeable as to what kinds of anime is there. To me, anime just seems like it's all the same stuff, to be honest. Um, but Alita and Death Note, the reason why I did start with those ones is that they seem to have that kind of themes that I like, where Death Note talks, has no problems, where it's like, yeah, what would you do if you have this power to control the life and death of other the life and death of other people, right? You could cancel somebody or not, and all you would have to do is write their name in a book, right? That's tremendous, that's scary, right? Like, I have to ask myself, like, what would I do if I, like, because obviously in Death Note they say, okay, let's take it, talk about it in the sense of, okay, it's we're going to go after criminals and people that we know for a fact that, hey, they're definitely guilty, they did very serious crimes. So we know that we're not taking out somebody that's innocent. Um, but I also like the fact that the two main characters in the book are very intelligent and very savvy, and not just, even though they're young, they're not stupid people. And they're very well aware of the world. Hey, Michelle Russell, how are you? Bonjour. Welcome to the Freedom Fries family. So I hope that you enjoy the show. So that's pretty much, basically, I don't pick an anime because of the kinds of weapons that they use. Although I do like Samurai Jack, but that's technically not an anime. It is an American cartoon. But that one was really well done. It's a shame that it ended. I think technically they did 4 seasons, but the creator, I think they said, had a nervous breakdown because of the pressure of it, but did come back for a fifth season, and I think they ended it there. I think there might have been one movie um, for Samurai Jack, but I don't think so. Okay, Les, I did. I assume, Peter, that this question is for me or for everybody, but I'll put it up, and if any, oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to do something with one particular user, and I think you all know why. Okay, so hopefully this person will not come back around. My goodness, I never thought I would be getting that kind of comments. My goodness. Whew, Jesus. Oh, and it's not like, I would think somebody like Before the Billions, who has like well over now 800 subscribers. Please, guys, go on his one of his videos, watch it in full, and applaud him, comment, like his videos, and congratulate him on that. It's a major step. That's 200 people away from being monetized. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, depending on his, watch time. So if you guys want to see him be monetized, guys, take the tip here. Go open up a second tab, open up one of his playlists and watch it, even if it's a full, like, I think he does have a playlist with all of his videos with his live streams, and hopefully including last night, which was fairly interesting. There was quite a few clippable moments, and I hope he does that as well at one point, where he clips out some of those really interesting conversations that he had. But that helps with watch time, guys. Take the time to, watch each other's contents. That's how we get, because that's the hardest one, is the watch time. Like, you can get subscribers relatively easily, but I mean, look, I'm not saying it like, okay, I got 500 subscribers from, in 2 minutes. But yeah, anyways, I digress. The whole point is, I have 257 subscribers, and I love every single one of you guys that are subscribed. But to have these kinds of comments in my chat room, oh, I never thought I would see that kind of thing. And like, why why out of, like, I have like 9 of you guys here watching, which I absolutely love, but it's like, why come to my to my live stream to make those kinds of comments? It's like, I saw it right away. So it's like, in a bigger channel where you have maybe hundreds or thousands of people and comment, and it could easily be hidden. But mine, I saw it right away. Anyways, I'm ranting as usual. I think I see another big new name, Big Time Drum. Thank you for being here and joining us. Unless it's unless it's somebody's pseudonym, but I'll leave it to them to confirm or deny. Yes, Lashes, there's unfortunately plenty of losers that out there that are willing to create, these dramas by making these really inappropriate comments. I'm not talking about you, Big Time Drum. It's a previous person had commented these really inappropriate things, and I don't like blocking people, but that was such an obvious fake account that was just there to spam. That's like, oh, like, it sucks having to do it, but when you got to do it, you got to do it. So, anyways, let's see, where was I? Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, I was going to answer Peter Peter M's question. Sorry, Peter. I keep wanting to abbreviate your name to Peter M. So it's Peter Investor M. I'm sorry. I apologize. My brain is not made for names. Okay. No, trash can. That's not the kind of channel that I'm going to be here. You might want me to be that, I know, but we're not gonna do that. Okay. Trash. What are we gonna do with you, man? So Peter Investor M, which genre of anime? Cybernetic versus vampire. I like Vampire Hunter D. I've never heard of that show, so it's definitely something that I'll have to look into. But let's see. I'm I'm personally on the fence with that, because for me, cybernetic would be something that I would be more interested in. Vampires, for me, out of the classic creature feature films, like when you're thinking about vampires, mummies, zombies, that kind of stuff, right? For me, vampires are ultimately always my favorite. So for me, it's like, okay, if you ask me to pick one or the other, hmm, I would instinctively go with cybernetic, because obviously Alita tends to be a little bit more on that sense of things. Excuse me, tends to be more on that style of involving robots and cybernetics and things like that, and tends to be more of a sci-fi anime. I assume some of you guys know, what's it called? Castlevania. It's a game, video game that was turned into a cartoon. That actually did a pretty good job of how they portrayed Dracula, and how he was trying to be more human, and really not use his I'm assuming I'm inventing a word here. His vampireness to his advantage and dominate the world. Yes, thank you, Peter M, for that. Sorry, there's just some people's names like you and blind guy, his wife, their life. I have to remember. Okay, this is your this is your name, and I'm not going to butcher it. But of course, I'm going to butcher it. So I apologize again, Peter. And if you guys don't clip this, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. Yes, definitely. Liquita, drive safe. We don't want you to be in the news for bad things. The only news I want to hear about you, Liquita and Corey, is that you two have reached your 1,000 viewer mark. And the other person that I see that's done very well in getting more subscribers is Mrs. B Finesse. She's actually announced, I think, either yesterday or the day before, that she went for something like 200 something subs to 400 something subs in like 2, 3 weeks or something like that. So she basically doubled her subs in like 2, 3 weeks. That's a major accomplishment, guys. I don't know if like you guys realize I had my channel, I think, for a good 5 or 6 years, and it took me 5 or 6 years to get 200. So imagine getting 100 a week for 2 weeks. So that she did in 2 weeks what took me 5 or 6 years to do. Now, granted, obviously, in the 5 or 6 years that I had my channel, I really didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. I was just using it more as a storage for all my videos and things like that. And yes, of course, I was gonna get to you, blind guy. You have to be more patient. But okay, since we want to talk, okay, since and I'm sure it's Corey. I'm sure it's because I know Liquida is a very patient and humble woman. She would not be rushing things. Corey. But yes, blind guy, his wife, their life has have also increased their numbers drastically. Please type in the number of new subscribers or total subscribers that you have, because again, it is important that you guys know that even if you're not a big shot like TLA or Kevin Samuels or whatever, you can still be happy and proud of your success and getting up there in the numbers. For instance, I'm really happy. Maybe 2 months ago, I was at about 200, 201 subscribers. In 2 months, I gained about 50, 60 subscribers. I'm happy for that gain. That's 60 people that looked at my content and say, hey, this is worth coming to enjoy, coming to spend time to watch. 391. Everybody give them, we're going to put that up. Round of applause. Oh, where did it go? Oh, here we are. There we go. Sorry. 391. Yay! Congratulations. I'm so glad to and so happy to see that. So your guys are really getting up there for Uncle Stu. Um, so I'm glad to see Uncle Stu that you guys are there. Wally, okay. But no, it's you guys, we need to be more proud of our success and the things that we have accomplished, no matter how small of steps that we do, because I don't know if you guys know, Lasha's journey has just started taking her YouTube channel more seriously, and we need to show each other that, hey, look, even if you're not going to get, I think TLA has what, 70 close to 80K subscribers, most of which he's gotten the past few months. He's making 20, 30K a month. Even though many of us were not going to get that, or it might take us several years to get to that point, it is possible for you to do it. So I want you to guys to give that encouragement to somebody like Lash's journey that is just starting, that may feel overwhelmed or bombarded, or oh my God, where do I start? So please support her and support each other as well. So that's why I was saying before, guys, don't be afraid. I know I have a few playlists of my videos. Don't be afraid to open up a second tab with one of my playlists and just let the videos play. Even if you don't watch every single one, Don't be afraid to go on one of my videos, comment, hey, I love this, I love this video. I want to see more of it. That's why I keep harping, guys, comment, like, because for the algorithm in YouTube, these are the things that it picks up on. That's one of the many different ways that you're going to be successful in YouTube. Of course, the other way is by, having good content, which is why, hey, you know what? I ask you guys, do you want to see me sit here for 20, 30 minutes? Look, it's been an hour that I've been, half of which I've been just rambling away here, rambling. And like, look, tell me honestly, is this something you guys want to see me do? Or no, we're tired of hearing you. Please just say what you have to say and leave. Because again, if you guys aren't watching my shows, then what's the point of me being here and talking about it, right? And hopefully when I come to your guys' shows or your panels or your videos and I say, hey, maybe the volume isn't really great or your audio is crackling or what, when I say that, I do that hopefully for you guys to understand that, hey, these are the things that do matter. You're gonna have the first few videos that you're gonna mess up, you're gonna ramble, your video's not gonna be great. Look how often I struggle stream today and yesterday for anybody who was in my book chat review yesterday. There's lots of stuff that I'm gonna mess up, and you have to be okay with that. You're gonna get people, leaving really weird comments sometimes, or in your chat or in your comments. It's gonna happen. So don't take those trolls, those horrible people, personally. A lot of the times, it's literally, people in other countries with 1,000 accounts that they just press a button and it just randomly does all these things. Thank you, Trash Can, for being up there and being promoting all these channels. Definitely subscribe to Lash's Journey. We want to see her do more content. And if you guys haven't subscribed to other people, we have, of course, Mr. Awesome as well. Mr. Awesome, hopefully we see you with a channel of your own. Even though we might not always agree, I do love hearing your opinions on anything and everything. What's the movie series of the week? Well, basically, hopefully, if you guys want to, okay. Hopefully, if you guys want to, and if I see that most of you guys are saying yes, once a week, every Saturday night, most likely, because I see that that's about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You guys seem to be more free and more relaxed. I will be talking about either a movie or TV show. Today, of course, is Cowboy Bebop, and it's going to be next week as well, since I hadn't had a chance to finish it. But yeah, Mr. Awesome, I hope that you come up with channel. Now you say my channel would be in existence in about. Come on, can you take out some of those years? Say 10 minutes and not 10 years, please. We want to. I don't know about every. I don't know about everybody else, but hey, look, I definitely would want to hear your opinion. Disagree, agree, and I mean that's what's great about conversation. It's okay to disagree with people, folks. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to not have the right answer. It's okay not to know something. It's okay to ask questions. All of that is okay. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be right. It's okay to go through all of that, right? Um, so yeah, thank you, Trash Can Waves, for being out there and promoting people's channels. Of course, as you guys know, that's the other thing. Lashes, this is for you, but for everybody else, if you're in somebody's chat and you try to post a link, if you're not a moderator, it just won't work. Okay. So yes. Let's see what we're. Yes, I'm going to subscribe to you 5 more times. Yes. I was like, yesterday I had like 3 or 4 people like, who are all these people? And of course, oh no, Lashes like, no, no, it's I know these people. Wink, wink, nod, nod. So that's another way that you guys can, if you have friends or family members or what have you say, hey, you know what? I have this YouTuber that I really like that needs those numbers. Go ahead and subscribe, even if you don't, participate. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently YouTube does unsubscribe YouTube channels if it sees that you're not commenting or watching their views regularly. Okay, excuse me, just a moment, guys. I just have to. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, as I was saying, if you're not commenting or viewing that subscribers or that YouTube channel on a regular basis, apparently it does unsubscribe you from them. So I don't know if that's true. Don't take what I just say as fact. Take what I just said with a grain of salt. Look it up yourself. So that's another reason why that it is important for you guys to go out there and comment on your on people's videos. I notice, I don't know if you guys have, but there are oftentimes after a year there are videos that YouTube um, will resuggest, even though I know for a fact that I saw them. So that might be something else that YouTube is going. So go fairly regularly and watch and rewatch um, people's content. At least, especially if if it's a YouTuber that you really like. Okay, so let's see what Big Time Drum says. YouTube once a year does audit of sub. Okay, okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Big Time Drum. I didn't know that. Thank you very much. Hello, Wealth Talk Productions. I assume I didn't see him come in. Did I miss him? I know he was. Sorry, guys. I know he was in earlier, but anyways, Wealth Talk Productions. Of I. Oh yeah, that's Wally's other channel. Sorry, I'm going crazy here, folks. Don't mind me and the crazy lady. So if anybody wants to come up, I'm going to repost the StreamYard link. Okay, so anybody's welcome to come up, even if it's just to have a random conversation, ask me questions about YouTube, or talk about this show, Cowboy Bebop, or a different show. Maybe there's something else that you want to say, or you just have a story. I don't know if Before the Billions has a story he really wants to tell or something. But if nobody wants to say anything, look, I mean, I did an hour stream. I'm happy with that. For me, I'm not going to complain. I know that I have, of course, a fairly long stream of technically over 13 hours, but humble brag, humble brag. So I'm not looking to make this 50 hours or 20. Although Before the Billion scared me. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, he's still alive. Is he gunning for my record here? Is he trying to go for 13 and 45 minutes? Should I be worried? But no, it's just one of like, that's what's great with Before the Billions is that he attracts that kind of audience that could very easily talk about his line of work, which is of course in data and all that in computers, but could easily talk about that, but could easily talk about philosophy, the meaning of life, and science, and all of that. So if you guys have that kind of patience, I highly recommend that you watch his, last episode, live stream, I should say, that started last night and ended this morning. So let's see. Trash can, that live tore us up. Yeah, yes, yes. The As usual, the tired 10, as I dubbed it. I'm very proud of that. I'm not gonna, not gonna shame or hide that. Was there in full force. A lot of us that were there for his first 10-hour live stream were also there last night. I wasn't able to spend the entire time, but I did do some of it. Oh, and we do have our first panelist. Everybody, give a warm welcome to Big Time Drum, aka Mike. I'm going to let him up. Hello, hello, Mike. How you doing?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for coming up. How are you?
Everything is everything. It's another
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you for coming up. So, how can I help you? How can I help you?
Well, you can help me however you feel desires in your heart and in your will.
Of
But
course, of course.
yeah, I was just curious
Hmm.
because you were talking about movies and I've seen some of your content. So I was just curious, like, have you tried to reach out to Frank Gooden and be involved in his movie?
I didn't, but through Melissa Jane, because I did go on to one of her palins where Frank Gooden was there, and she's like, "Oh, you should do it." I'm like, "Yeah, no, to me, I don't feel like I have that kind of voice or that kind of ability to be part of it." But yes, I was suggested. I do know who Frank Gooden is, and I did watch some of his the live that he had earlier today, where he brought back people to sort of decide on some of the characters that he's trying to figure out. Just a moment. Hello, Kurt Russell. I know who you are, but thank you very much for being here. So yeah, I would definitely like to do a collab with Frank Gooden, but not on his show. I feel it would be a disservice to the movie if I participated in it, to be honest.
Why would you feel that?
Especially looking at the people that were in, and I think Patrice got it or is at least in the contendership. There were a couple people that really had a fantastic voice and really um, played the part. I guess is the right word. I don't feel like uh, I guess depending on how long the character would be on scene, if you're telling me that okay, this character is going to be on scene for 5 or 6 hours, for me to maintain that kind of character and the energy that it would take, it would be too much for me, And I think that you really need to be. I don't know if a trained actor would be the right word, but you definitely do have to have
Um,
some.
Let me just put it to you this way, right?
Hmm.
And I'm just telling you from someone who's in the business, okay?
Hmm.
Clearly, from what I'm hearing in your voice, um, I don't see any reason. As a matter of fact, you clearly have the kind of voice that, you know, would be in movies, believe it or not.
Really.
Um, I think, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think what it is maybe if you, and I'm just going to be transparent. I think
Hmm.
maybe if you just lose the how can I put this? The narrative that you're telling yourself, I can't, I can't, I can't, rather than to try and to find out, oh, wait a minute, maybe it wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
because look at it this way. Even if you didn't get it, Frank can also say, well, look, here's some pointers. Or the fact that you did it, that could lead to something else. Because even Frank said, look at it this way, if you don't get it, you can use that, you know, as a how we say as a promotion to say, okay, if I'm gonna try for something else, if I want to do that, I can present to somebody showing that I tried out for something else. You see what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but with Frank, he's not looking for professional per se. It's really about the personality, and that's why I hear that in you,
Mm.
because clearly Patrice is not a professional actor.
Mm.
Vaughn is not a professional actor. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty certain uh, a larger percent of the people that are going to be in his movie are not necessarily actors, but it's the
Mm.
personality that he's looking for. Um, so I'm just trying to encourage you to say you have nothing to lose. Just go ahead and try. And
Mm.
besides, it's just your voice. It's not like your face is being shown because it's a graphic novel.
Of course, of course. No, yeah, for sure. And I mean, I do tend to beat myself up a lot. You're right on that. But yeah, to me, it's like I don't know. I don't think I could. But I'm just gonna bring up somebody else who just joined the panel. We're gonna
Sure.
welcome Uncle Stu. Thank you, Uncle Stu, for being here. How
Oh,
are you,
you.
sir?
I am doing well. Apologize for me not camming up this evening, and
No
I'm gonna
worries.
have to change that because everybody see the L and don't realize it's me. So I
I
definitely got to hurry up and change that icon up there because I do have an icon to go there. But
yeah,
what
yeah.
I wanted to tell you, she stole my thunder, is that at least for me, once I get over this little situation, I
Hmm.
think what I'm enjoying is learning the production aspect of the business.
Okay.
And I think what you bring to the table are aspects of the business that people don't understand, which is the behind the scenes aspect. So, what do I mean? You're bringing a technique of editing that many of us is trying to aspire to. Uh, you bring your own sense of storytelling, which I believe many of us is aspiring to do. And these are the qualities and techniques to me of a good filmmaker.
Wait,
It's
wait.
not about who's in front of the camera, it's really who's behind it. And at least since I've been on YouTube, and learning how do I take my thoughts, my views, my ideas, and actually put it on camera. Now, right now, yes, I become the face
Mm-hmm.
and the voice, um, which many has accepted. The face of Uncle Stu
Mm-hmm.
and the voice of Uncle Stu, but I'm also trying to upgrade my production aspect to try to show the talent of putting a small 10, 15, 20 minute production film together in which it's not only going to be cinematic, but it is going to be a storytelling. It's going to have positive motivation, and hopefully, my edits will be better. As I learn, I mean, in this, I learned what a B roll is. You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as that, the average person doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Voiceover, um, learning, my next caliber is how do you put music to your voice and your cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to learn all these different techniques and understand that there are people who get paid just to put music to your films. You got people that do nothing but edit. You got people that do nothing but doing the production. So there's too much that you can add to the table when it comes to that. Yes, blind guy, his wife is absolutely right. The power of storytelling. Now I love telling stories. I when I'm taking my morning walks, I'm telling you a story. I'm telling you my thought of the day or what's going on. Um, I've been doing miniature clips
Mm-hmm.
this past weekend. Um, so watch out for that video on the process of overcoming grievances,
Mm-hmm.
meaning when someone passes away, what is the process, and trying to help someone understand the process. Now it's probably just going to be me doing most of the talking, as opposed to an actual documentary,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping that gives people a fresh voice, a fresh understanding, because I'm coming from a fresh place.
Mm-hmm.
So never underestimate your talent. And I think that if you go back and you look at the interview that I did with Frank Gooden, I think that is what we're all striving and we're pushing for. Each one of us has our own talents,
Mm-hmm.
but we can network with those talents. And while we may all want to do certain things for free, ain't nothing in life free. So we network. If I say, well, look, I want to put this production, here's my storyline, and I sent you a bunch of clips, and you're able to put those clips together, edit them, and produce the story,
Hmm.
that's your talent. Even if you look on the front page, when people go to my Instagram, your name is written on the bottom of that page. You are credited for that work. Every time you hear someone say, "Hey man, I love your introduction." Hey, here's the woman that did the introduction. You get credit for that work. You know, um, certain people are just talented in certain ways, and we just respect the talent. And if we want to be a part of that talented person, it's like a job. We bring our resume, we bring what we're talented in to help them. you know um I can't do a production like Blind Guy, his wife, their life. They
Hmm.
have their own production. They do it their own way. But then when you look at certain professionalisms, say in their back scenes or in their backstage, hey, I got to learn to be a little bit. They help me to step it up in the sense of, hey, sound equipment, making sure my sound is right. Or, when they send you out emails, it's very production based. Let me see. What was that
Yeah,
comment?
yeah, it's this year.
Acting is
So
on point. I've never seen no one deliver stories like he does.
yeah.
But
Thank
what's
you.
funny that you're talking about this, Uncle Stu, because, for example, like with Laquita and Corey, you know, they have their own little niche that
Yes,
works for them. Like, for example, you know, Quita, she's very sweet. She's very thoughtful, blah, 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 blah. And then Corey, he has a way sometimes he'll troll, and oh my God, he's incredibly funny with it at times,
right.
Hmm.
you know but he also has a serious side to him, that comes out. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
um but the fact that they've made that into their own show, into their own niche, that's
Absolutely.
why they're just growing, and I'm just loving what they do. So, but it's like everything else. I mean, everybody, including yourself, has to create the story that is according to them, and it's not according to, well, based on this, on based on that. No, you create the story according to you. Of course, you create the story the best that you can. You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because ultimately, when I'm checking out Uncle Stu, I come to see Uncle Stu. I don't come to see Uncle Stu be like somebody else. No, I come to see Uncle Stu because
I,
that
right.
because that's what's Uncle Stu's uh, um, story is showing me.
And he says it just right.
Hmm.
Get comfortable in your niche. See, one thing I've learned in life is that you have originality and you have talent. Talent is organic. No one can copy your talent. No one can copy that because it's you. It's your fingerprint. It's your gifting. Now, anyone may try to learn to do what you do. People can sit here and say, "Well, I'm gonna do what Uncle Stu do. I'm gonna go grab a bunch of people and I'm gonna interview them and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that." But you know what? I know what I do because I've been doing it for over 35 years. Just maybe not on YouTube. I know how to have the organic conversation. And when you're comfortable in who you are, you just do it. You don't worry about it because sooner or later, everyone's going to burn out trying to be you. Everyone's going to burn out trying to be just like you. What do you always hear me say? Hey, I don't know how to do the stuff that Before the Billions do, and I'm not going to try to sit here for 5 years to do what he can do naturally.
Right.
You understand? I'd rather just go ahead and say, okay, let me just hire him to do what I need done
Exactly.
and get it done. If if
Exactly.
if I know that I want to do a certain production and it's going to take me four weeks to do what I know you can do in 2 days, well, let me just pay you and get this done in 2 days. You understand what I'm saying? I got to know my giftings. I'm a businessman. And I think as a businessman, people think business is about profit. No, business is about understanding how to invest in the people around you to get the best things done.
Basically, business is a brand.
It's a brand. My brand can't be taken. My brand is the uncle. You said it best. What is my brand? The Uncle Stu that has a natural love. I don't have to go to college for this love. I don't have to emphasize any degrees for this love. I don't have to sit here and be the face of love. My love comes from, hey, did y'all see Big Guy's Journey video yesterday? Man, he could do something I definitely can't do. Hey, you want to know how to do this? Let me introduce you to the person that can do this. Let me introduce you to the person that can, David Hunt. You know, I can't play piano like that. You know how many years it's going to take me to learn how to play the piano to be a David Hunt? No one knows all the labor work that you learned and the years you put in to do the things you do. So that's what they call it, monetizing talent.
Hmm.
And a businessman will pay to monetize, to have you monetize. We always talking about 1,000 subscribers to be monetized, when a lot of us can be paid right now before the 1,000 subscribers, because people will see talent and they will pay for that talent. And better the talent, higher they're willing to pay, because what are they paying for? They're not really paying for you. They're paying for you to take away time for them so that they can do other things.
No facts as usual, Uncle Stu. You're spitting facts. But I have one question for you though.
Sure.
Now you said that you've been doing this for 35 years. I have a hard time believing that. Aren't you 22? How how can you be in this business for 35 years and be 22 years old?
And I was in heaven before I came to earth.
Okay, that's what. Because I'm trying to do the math. Like, okay, I know I'm not very good at math, but 22, 35, how is this possible? This guy is that now that is talent. That is talent.
That is talent. But yes, I mean, so again, it's like it's so hard, but it's like a 19-year-old thinking they can do what a 50-year-old can do, when you don't realize their life experience. You
Exactly.
don't realize their practice. You don't realize what they're doing, how they're doing it, because you haven't really studied and learned to put to do the things that they have learned to do. The
And
hours,
sometimes, right,
right,
and sometimes it might not even be a case of study. It's a case of the fact that they have so many years of experience,
right,
you know, and because of their years of experience, that makes them what is called seasoned. You
exactly.
see?
Mhm. Yeah.
So just like, with She Stole My Thunder, her thing could be editing. You see what I mean? And
Mm.
so this is why I'm kind of, in a way just encouraging to say, reach out to Frank Gooden. You could probably be a part of his process. Just like I'm good with music. I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, I got a bunch of music here and so forth and so forth." And he's like, "Bet, let's do it."
Mm.
That's
You see what I
why.
mean?
That's
Yeah,
why if
yeah.
you stole my thunder, they'll tell you Volunteer for 10% of your time, get monetized for 90.
Exactly.
Do you hear what I say?
Yes, sir. I definitely heard that loud and
And
clear.
because what everybody doesn't know behind the scenes, what was the first thing I emailed you? Give me your cash app,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. You definitely
Why?
did say that.
Why did I tell you that? I told you that because thank you for doing what you did, but I also understand the value of what you did.
Mm,
You understand?
yeah.
So if I'm recognizing your value, I'm willing to invest in that value. And no one can use quote unquote the relationship that you and I has formed from a business perspective.
Mm,
Okay. No one can come in and take that. No one can use my name and say, well, you did it for Uncle Stu. Now do it for me. You did it for him. No, Uncle Stu was voluntary. The rest of
mm.
y'all got to pay for that talent. Why?
Yeah.
Mm.
Why do y'all have to pay? For one reason only. His was 10% of my
Mm,
volunteer time, but that 10% nets me 391 people every time he does a live stream.
mm,
So he's advertising my work.
mm.
So the monetary gain is every time you see my work on his production, you want that production, you got to pay for that work. So do
Wow.
you understand the 10%?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
if Big Time Drum said, "Hey Uncle Stu, I thought about you. Um, I did a musical piece that's 30 seconds long. Let me bring it to you." I say, "Hey, I like the musical piece. I throw a piece of video up on it. Okay, that's 10% that he invested. We didn't exchange money, but guess how he's getting the money? Every time Uncle Stu does a video, hey, I like that music. Oh, yeah, the credit goes to Big Time Drum. Hey, Big Time Drum, can you do for me? Yeah, sure, give me some money." That's the advertisement.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why we can't use credited or copyrighted material, because if we do that, we're taking money away from somebody. But when we give credit to the music or I give credit to the production, that credit goes to y'all too, and people is paying for that service.
Mm,
So there's still what they would call an exchange of finances. It's just done in a different way.
Exactly. Or the other term is used bartering.
Right. Right.
exactly. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's the thing. For me, it's even when you asked, for me, I could have very easily have said, hey, pay me right away or else. But for
Absolutely.
me, and I know if I had done that with you, you wouldn't have said, no, okay, never mind. I know you would have gladly have paid. But for me, I figured, you know what? You're coming to me for help. You're coming to me because you have an issue. 1 second. I just see a comment that needs to be dealt with immediately. In fact, I don't know how that user. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. And the worst is that I blocked that person before, and I thought, okay, that was going to resolve and see, okay, that they have a second account, I guess. Anyways, now I kind of lost my train of thought here. Um,
That shows you how popular you're getting.
yeah,
Right.
I'm worth trolling. Yay! I've
You know when you're
succeeded.
getting listen, you know when you're getting popular when the trolls start to enter.
That's right. But do you
Oh
but
my
do
god.
you but do you understand? I have a
Yeah.
licensed business.
Mhm.
My business is Still One International Network LLC. That's a real business.
Mm.
So this is not voluntary. This is a business. So everything I do, I'm looking at it from a business perspective. I'm not always looking to get over on someone or pull on people's heartstrings.
Mm,
I do exchange in different ways.
mm,
You understand? So that exchange can be behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, or simultaneous to the scenes.
mm.
And a lot of people, they're looking for the subscribers, but then what do you really bring to the table if you're not authentic?
Yeah, very true.
And, you know, I've lived life long enough to see people who may look like they're getting ahead now, but they wasn't authentic. They get burnt out later. You
Yeah,
understand?
Hmm.
yeah.
Because they couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I guess that's when Big Time Drum came up and had suggested that I do the Frank Gooden project, and I was kind of resistant to it. And that's kind of, I guess, part of it for me is that I don't feel that's who I am. Like I don't feel like I'm an actress. You know what I mean?
Who said
Uh,
anything about being an
yeah,
actress?
but to me, to some degree, when you're doing a show like what Frank Gooden is doing, you're not necessarily representing yourself. You know what I mean? You're portraying a character. You know what I mean? So to
But
me, it's
but let
like,
me,
yeah,
Yeah, but a lot
the
of the
only reason
time,
why I'm cutting you off on that one is who said anything about in front
mm,
when all the work is in the back. Big Time Drum has probably done more than enough studio productions, and he'll probably tell you he probably needs those workers more when they go set up a show than when he's doing the show.
hmm
He
hmm
needs a sound person. He needs mic checks. He needs backup people. There's more work behind the scenes than in front.
yeah.
And those people are more important.
And just like I was telling you, that the only reason I suggested it was because of your personality. And I'm
Bingo.
pretty sure that, if even if you try just for the fun of it, that Frank would see exactly what I'm seeing. That, man, you have a personality. Why not? Give it a shot. What you got to lose? But even if you don't want to do that, that's okay. However, if your strong point is editing, I don't see no reason why he would say no to that.
And your voice doesn't have to be OG Patrice
Or Vaughn.
or Vaughn. Your voice is okay. This is not a put down. You know where I see your voice?
mm.
And I think Big Time Drum will agree. I see your voice in like cartoons.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Absolutely. Because your personality.
right.
Yep.
You have that bubbly cartoon voice. Like I could see just your voice behind a cartoon character.
But check this out. Funny you said that, Uncle Stu, because Frank Gooden's upcoming film is a graphic novel. So
Right.
even the more reason.
Right. Do you know how many upfront face actors? If you people say, well, where did these actors go? And you come to find out they're doing voiceovers in cartoons.
Mm.
Just their
Yeah.
voice. They're just reading and somebody else is doing the animation. But it's their voice. And they're getting paid great just for their voice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I guess like I said before, for me, when I hear myself, and I know a lot of people say that about themselves too. Like when I hear my voice on an answering machine, I'm like, who is that person? Oh my god! And, like
Right.
it doesn't sound like me. You know what I mean? So it's like for me when I hear people like, yeah, you have a voice for a cartoon. I really like your voice, and I think Vaughn as well has that issue where everybody compliments him about his voice, right? And he's like, wait, what are you, me? What are you guys talking about? Like, it's, and that's, oh,
Hold on, I gotta get off.
okay,
I'm gonna call y'all right back. I'll be
All
back
right.
okay,
up.
All right.
yeah,
Here's what I'm gonna say to what you just said, all right?
hmm,
And I'm just speaking um honestly about myself as a musician, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Even with me, right now, I'm confident in my talent. I know what I can do, not a problem, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I haven't met one person except for certain personalities, but I can pretty much guarantee you 90% of anybody who has a talent, anybody who has a skill, are their own worst critics,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's and that's a good thing because for me being my worst critic, it's not I'm going, oh my God, I suck. No, it's just, you know, I will never be satisfied with that. That was the greatest. I'm always trying to reach to be better than the last time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, for sure.
So it's no different than um um okay, let's put it this way. It's no different than, like, by the time you've done with this stream and you've listened back to the stream, you're probably going to have those moments going, man, I could have said that better, or I wish I had said this at this time. I wish I was thinking this, and so forth and so forth, so that
Mm.
by the time you get to the next one, you're like, okay, I'm going to try to outdo that,
Mm.
or even down to when you do your edits, it's the same thing. Sometimes you're going to be your own worst critic, but not to the point where it's out of bad mental health. No,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just everybody wants to try to either a outdo what they've last done, or just they're striving to be better at all times.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you and Uncle Stu are saying, and I've realized that for me, that's my biggest issue with myself is, like you said, I'm my worst enemy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm always like, instead of, because I get what you're saying, that okay, we're gonna have criticisms, we're gonna have things that, oh yeah, I need to improve, and like, I had a posted a video, I'm like, oh, I forgot to put this, I forgot to do that,
Yes.
okay, you know what I mean? And okay, that it's gonna happen and I can accept it. For me, I find that it tends to be more on the, oh my god, you're really horrible, why would anybody pay for this, why would anybody listen to you? And I kind of have to beat that ideas out of my head and kind of like, okay, you
Yes,
have to stop doing
because
that. Yeah.
here's what I'll tell you, right? Is it's one thing to be confident in what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's another thing to not be confident, and you're actually messing up everything.
Mm.
Okay. um so so I mean, just like with myself as a professional drummer of 3 decades, okay. um I've played on things where, to to the person who's listening, that's gold to them.
Mm.
But I'm not going to tell them, oh, that was a pack of shit and all that stuff. I'm not going to say that. You know, if they appreciate it, I just say thank you. And I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm glad that, I was able to give you something of value.
Mm.
Because clearly, if I wasn't that good, they wouldn't hire me in the first place.
Yeah, you're very right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, who would want to pay money to somebody that is genuinely crappy at something? You're very right on
Right.
that.
Right. So I'm just giving you a different way to look at it, is
Mm.
try not to look at it as a doubtful thing. Just
Mm.
try to look at it as, it's best to try, you know,
Mm. Yeah.
and to find out, okay, what could I have done better, than to not try and to totally miss out on the opportunity.
Mm.
or to totally miss out and then feel like, oh man, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Mm,
But how would you have known
if
unless
yeah,
unless you lose the narrative of, well, I don't know, and all this, unconfident kind of stuff.
yeah,
Like, no, just, you know, do it. I mean, if you have nothing to lose, then the worst that can happen is you learn something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, exactly. If you, like you said, like if you have nothing to lose, then the worst thing is nothing happens at worst, you know? So,
Or, like I said,
yeah,
you learned something.
yeah, exactly.
That's probably the worst that can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. And it's like I said, I realize that I am my own worst enemy, and that I'm basically battling against myself more than anything else. And
Yeah.
that is the difficulty for me to like get out of my own head, get out of my own way, and
Yes.
really stop beating myself and stop being so harsh to myself.
Yes.
um that's why I almost cried before when you guys were talking about like, who, me, is this me you guys are talking about? Like, I think you guys are on the wrong channel,
Right.
Are you sure that you're here? Do you know what channel you're on? No, but
Uh,
thank you so much though for your kind words and your great advice.
oh, no problem. Not a
You know,
problem.
I
Each one
yeah,
teach one. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. No, you're very right. And as much as I try to encourage other people, it's always good to be encouraged as well. So
Yes.
it works
Yes.
both ways in this world of YouTube, and that's what I really appreciate about YouTube. It's so easy for us to create our own community and to find those friendships and those links and those people that are
Yes.
willing to teach us, and to that you can learn from. And
Yes.
that's why I always tell people, look, even if the only thing you do for me today is put on a second tab and put on my one of my playlists, if that's the only thing you can do for me today, I'm happy with that. If the only
Yes.
thing I can do for you today is open up a second tab and play some of your stuff, great. If that's what I can do to help you, I'm gonna do it with
Awesome.
happiness and pleasure.
Awesome.
So it's
Awesome.
like, that's what's, people tend to forget that that's, as much as we love to criticize YouTube, that's the power of it as well, is that you can change somebody's life. You can create a community with not a whole lot of effort. I don't have to go out and talk to you at a coffee shop for 3 hours. You're in, I don't know where you are, I'm at home. You're where
I'm at
you
home.
are, you're at home too. Okay, great. I hope you're doing the YouTube dress code, which is having a top and no pants. But
Listen,
yeah.
here's the beauty of YouTube, right? Here's an analogy.
Mm,
YouTube is like punk music.
mm,
There is no rules, with the
yeah.
exception of, of course, there's certain things that, you know, YouTube won't allow,
Mm,
but YouTube is just a video platform, just like with Facebook. What's on your mind today?
mm,
You write the story. They're just giving you the platform to write the story. However you see fit, however you choose to, you know? And once you've written the story, you put it out, you know, as long as people are getting, your story, they're liking what you're doing, and you keep giving them more and more and more, you're going to grow your own community,
yeah.
and it's not about trying to be, or, well, can I be like, no, that's the point. I mean, let me put it this way. It's like, a while back, right, when I was on the lead attorney's channel, and we were talking about equipment and things like that,
Mm.
and I was telling him that when I first began, I was using my phone. You
Wow,
know,
really?
yes, yes, I was using my phone, and even to this day, you know, even though in my mind the quality is not the best, but guess what? people are not necessarily looking at the quality. What they're looking at is the content.
Mm.
That,
Yeah.
my content still gets views to this day from that cheap phone
Mm.
because they're looking at the content. They're not looking at whether it's, you know, this type of production, da 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 da. Does it help? Of course it does. Yes.
Mm.
But the point is everybody has to start from somewhere. But
Mm.
at the same time, you know, you also have to create your own pocket. Like, for example, I've seen YouTube channels where their whole channel is based on using a GoPro,
I
you know?
I've never heard of that. Like, do you have a name of a particular? Because I know I've seen some people like obviously use GoPro for some of the clips, like especially if they're going mountaineering or whatever. But whole
Yeah.
channels, like, is there one in particular that
Loads,
you can mention,
loads,
or
there's way too
okay,
many. But the point I'm
yeah,
trying to tell you is,
okay, yeah,
you know, whether it's a GoPro, whether it's the camera on your phone, whether
mm,
it's a professional camera, you know, all of that, you know, it 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 it's not as a big a deal as to the content. Meaning, what's this about?
mm,
Is this going to keep my interest? You know, what is your story?
mm,
You know, and if I get your story, I'm gonna continue to support it. You know, and it's not about, well, let me create this because I'm trying to satisfy. No, you create something because you're saying, hey, this is just my way of showing she stole my thunder.
mm,
And I'm saying it in a way to say she stole my thunder. This is how my version of it is. You see?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, so that's what I'm saying. Like, YouTube is like punk music.
Mm.
You get to you write the story. So don't feel no ways, and however you do your thing, just do you, and that's what people come to see. I want to see you. I don't want to see you be like. No, I want to see you. And if the best of you, is however you decide to make it up, then I'm gonna eventually get it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I guess too, part of my issue is like trying to figure out, what is it that I'm trying to talk about and present. And, that's why I'm like, okay, guys, do the poll, please, and like, hey, can you answer these questions and let me know? And,
Right.
but, I'm glad to get all these advice and get positive feedback from you guys and say, you know what, keep going, or, work on this, or, whatever it is, because it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
especially for a lot of smaller YouTubers like myself, it's like it is difficult to figure out, okay, is how I'm presented, what I'm presented, something that is interesting, because
Right.
hey, you have people that could make talking about ants so interesting and enjoyable, but
Exactly.
you know what I mean, that
Exactly. I mean, okay, like and it was funny you say that because
mm,
the earlier today, right? So there's a guy who talks about YouTube and how to make the most out of it and all this other stuff.
mm,
And he was showing examples of people who have less than 1,000,
mm,
but you know, it's the content is what's grabbing the attention. Even though,
mm,
there's some that have like 300, 600, they're less than 1,000,
mm,
but the content is just wicked. Like there's this
yeah,
one girl, she, her whole thing is about climbing rocks. She's
wow,
got tons of videos climbing everything that you could think of, or going to this place, or try to challenge, or just to show you the techniques and anything to do with, you know, climbing a rock, or where or how, or anything to do with it. And the camera that she uses, I mean, it's just a simple camera.
Yeah.
But at the
Uh,
same time,
Yeah.
the way it's the way that she's writing the story, that's what captures your interest.
Yeah, no, you're very right. Then it's like, and that's why for me, like I said, it's like I'm still trying to figure out my foot
Sure,
in the
sure.
YouTube world and seeing what works and seeing where I'm comfortable at and really trying to make sure
It's
that
going to take a minute, you
yeah,
know?
of course, yeah,
And unless you have a certain skill set that you're trying to highlight, like for example, if your thing is editing, then you can do YouTube videos showing people, look, I'm going to show you how to edit.
mm.
You know how many people would love to have your skill set and just sit down and watch that video? I would watch it because I'm like, man, let me see what I can learn from you because that's your thing. Just
Well,
like with me,
yeah,
right? I'm a drummer
mm,
and I write songs and I produce music. I show exactly that.
mm,
I play songs, I do this and anything to do with it. Every once in a while, I'll do a vlog. I may talk about something,
mm.
you know, but 90% of what you see on my channel, it's all about, my specialty. You see?
Yeah, for sure. What is your channel? Because I definitely think I would love to be able to promote your channel and be able to say to people, hey, look, if you want good drumming advice or drumming, go see him.
All
You
right.
know?
Well, my channel is Big Time Drum,
Okay.
and of course, uh, my good homie Trash Can Waves. He already
Yeah.
has put it in the
He already
in the
did.
chat. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right, good, good. At least, yeah. No, because I'm like, I'm trying to find you myself as well because it's like, and it's like I said, like, you bring something that's, unique to you and, I would want to go see, you know what I mean? So, and it's that whole experience with YouTube. It's like I said before, finding your community, finding yourself, and what you can offer that, like you said, you can't offer what I offer and I can't offer
No,
what you offer,
exactly.
and it's and we can, like you said, learn from each other and
Yeah, yeah. And
you
as a
know
matter of fact, okay, and just to show you something, right?
hmm
So the other day, um, Suzette Speaks was doing a live, right?
hmm
And I just put in a comment just to basically say hi.
hmm
And she told people to go check me out because she went into my channel. She saw a couple of videos and she was like, man, this guy does music and I love when he gives me this happy feeling and he's this and da 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 blah 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 blah. And she even left me a comment um, inside of one of my videos,
hmm
you know. And so for me, I was like, man, that's huge.
yeah,
You know what
yes,
I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
You know, and so the fact that I'm glad that someone, was able to recognize what I do best,
mm,
and to be able to just give it the 15 seconds of fame, and I'm like, hey, beautiful. And as a matter of fact, because of that, I gained subscribers that were just curious because of what she said.
exactly.
You see?
No, yeah, for sure. And I mean, and that's why sometimes, like, when I see bigger YouTubers that don't shout out people, I'm like, I feel sad sometimes because it's like they have the power to, change to make that difference for
Yes,
a smaller YouTuber, and they're not utilizing that. That's why for me, it's like, hey, look, if I can shout out you, I know I'm not like a million people, but hey, if even one person says, yeah, I went to Big Time Drum because of She Stole My Thunder, and oh my God,
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
That's always a good thing. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because you don't know how you can positively impact somebody else's life.
exactly,
So it's like
exactly.
I don't know if you watch sci-fi movies a lot, but I definitely do. in
Mm-hmm.
sci-fi movies you'll have a lot of those movies that you're gonna go back in time, and of course, oh, don't mess up this or else it might mess up the future. It's to sort of show that, hey, look, what you do in the past has an impact on the present. But
Mm-hmm.
YouTube has the capacity to allow people to use their present to change their
Absolutely.
future,
Absolutely.
because it's like, look at somebody like TLA, who, 6 months ago or whatever the timeline was, he was like, yeah, I was about ready to give up and never
That's right.
mind.
That's right.
And now how many people are, oh my God, I'm more careful about, the women that I get involved with, or now I'm more knowledgeable about divorce, or, he's now making what, 20K a month. Imagine what
Yep.
you and I could do with 20K a month. I
Oh,
would,
please.
you
Oh,
know,
please.
like, you
I'll
know,
even say 10K.
I'll take 1,000.
You know what I'm saying?
you know. So it's like, imagine the things you could do, and he's not learning a new skill. He's not going out of his way to learning how to be a plumber. He's just using his knowledge and experience as a lawyer to sit down and talk about hot topics, and maybe go into, yeah, he's going to say sometimes things that people might not like or agree with. Okay, fine, but he's not afraid to put that out there and say, hey, look, based on what I see, based on what I know, this is what I think. These are the conclusions that, and that's what, sometimes for me is hard, is putting myself out there and saying, hey, look, based on what I see, based on what I know, based on my experience, this is what I think. This is where my thought is. So,
Hmm. Well, all I can tell you is put out content because you
mhm.
want to. Don't put out content because you have to.
No, for sure.
You know, that's something. That's another thing that I had to learn as well. And unless you're doing it because it's out of a challenge,
Mm.
then that's the exception. But apart from that, put out content because you want to put it out. And by the way, speaking, sideline,
Hmm.
trash can waves. Yes, I have had loads of people said I look like Lionel Richie, and you ain't the first, and you won't be the last.
Hey, that's a compliment, I guess. Hey,
Listen,
look,
I take it any good day.
yeah, yeah, no, of course, of course. No, it's that reminds me. I had this is back when I was working at because I don't know if you know, I'm Canadian, so
Okay,
um
we're in, we're, we're
I
in, uh, we're in
in
Canada.
Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Yep, yep.
yeah,
Go
we
on.
have we have a store that's similar to Home Depot, and I used to work
Yes,
there. And there's this one guy, I swear, every time, and I finally approached him. I tried to say it indirectly because it's like, oh, I didn't want to, make it seem like it was an insult or anything.
yes.
But he looked like, I don't know if you know, I'm pretty sure you do, Muammar Gaddafi, the leader,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
ex-leader. He looked exactly like him. You
yes.
could swear it was him every time. And like, I finally came up to him like, are you Libyan by any chance? To
Right,
sort of hint.
right,
He's like, yeah, yeah, I look like more about Gaddafi, I know. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry,
right,
but
right.
yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, yeah, I of course get confused for Hal Berry all the time, of course. No
Well,
kidding.
that's a
You
beautiful
know,
thing.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't get confused for her. I'd be nice if I got confused for her, but no, I don't think anybody ever confused me for her. But be nice. It'd be nice for me, but insulting for her. But
Nah, I
nah,
wouldn't
no,
say
I
that.
know. Yeah, again, I'm hard on myself. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know if you would mind if I just showed your one of your clips like for like
Go
10
for it.
seconds or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Come on,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on,
All right. Let's do this, folks. It's
come on.
showtime. Showtime with She Stole My Thunder.
Yes,
All
go
right,
on,
let's
go on.
all right, let's get to your channel here. Let's share. Sharon is Karen. And of course, everybody sees my screen here. I assume everybody does.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, perfect. Good, good. So let's see. Is there one particular video that you would want
Anyone?
me to show? Anyone? Okay.
Uh,
Let's
I, I'll tell you what. Let's
yeah.
let's 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 start with um let's see. I'll
The
tell you what.
yeah, the
Let's
Cajun
start.
beat seems, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one
Do that.
seems pretty interesting. So we'll try that
Go
and
for
we'll
it.
go with, yeah. So just
Right.
like, whoop, we'll have to unmute. That would always be good. Okay, I'll stop it right there just
That's
because I
fine.
don't, yeah, because we both know how YouTube loves its copyright. But that was
Yeah,
very
but
like,
you won't get copyrighted because I'm the owner of it.
yeah, I know, but even because the second
Yeah.
it's on somebody else's channel playing it, then
Yeah.
there's an issue. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, okay, I don't
Yeah.
want to go too far. Even though you gave me permission,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
YouTube obviously doesn't have that in writing, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
But
yeah,
the actual rule is
yeah.
2 minutes because
Oh
uh
yeah,
it's 2 to 5 minutes because it's called fair use.
fair use. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but if you go
Okay,
to Brighton Beach.
okay, we'll go back. Let's see, Brighton Beach.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Go down.
Um,
Go down.
Go down, down, down. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
You see
Brighton
right
Beach.
there.
That's one.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Now click that and before you play it,
Mm-hmm.
you know
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to give you some backstory
Okay. I'll pause it
because I want to
before
make a
there.
point.
Of course. Yeah.
Now that one
Mm-hmm.
I filmed totally on my phone and I use my music as part of the background.
Mm.
So that's just part of the point that I was telling you earlier about, you know, it's how you tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but that's the thing is that like look, obviously for me, I know I'm not as how should I put it, as experienced as you are, but for me I remember that back in the day when you said I shot something on my video
yeah.
on my cell phone. I remember the potato cell phone videos that we had, and I was really like, it's like, no, please take that off the internet.
Right,
No, you're hurting me. So for me, in my mind, I anytime I hear somebody, I know it's no longer true and it hasn't been true for years, but in my mind, I'm always imagining those potato videos. That's like, why did you do
yeah,
this?
yeah,
You know, but yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
obviously, like this is not true, and obviously, even just with this still, that's
Right,
really not what you're seeing at all. It like to me, okay, yeah, you can tell it's a cell phone, but it's
right,
still decent quality. It's still something that, hey, yeah, for 39 minutes almost, yeah, I could sit down and watch this, and
right.
there.
But at the same time,
Hmm.
even though yeah, you see my face, but the point I was trying to share with
Mm,
you was that you don't have to show your face to put the story together. You know, I mean, listen, there are loads of channels that don't show their face and they just walk around the town
mm,
and people are viewing that, you know? There are
yeah,
loads of channels that don't show their face and they have a certain way of telling however the story is. Uh, that's just awesome with it because of the editing or because of, how they're putting it together. You
yeah. No,
see?
yeah, you're very right,
Yeah.
very right. So
But
we'll
anyway,
play. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So you can
well,
play it, but
yeah,
that's
well,
just to illustrate the point that I was just
of
trying to make.
course,
Yeah.
of course, of course. So we'll analyze your storytelling abilities and grade you
All right, and
on.
you can tell me how good my editing was.
You know. My goodness, my goodness. Of course, of course.
All right, all
All
right.
right. So I'll unmute it because obviously I assume sound will be important. So unmute this
Yes,
guy and let's get going.
go
Three,
for it.
two,
Two,
one,
one.
bingo.
All right. So today I decided I'm going to take a trip and simply go out to Brighton.
So I'm going to pause it. Ooh la la, who is this sexy man? My goodness. I'm sure all the ladies in the audience want to know, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Ooh, ladies, take numbers. Take a number. We're going to, at the end, there's
Ooh,
going to be an auction for a date with,
wow.
no,
Let
no,
the
no.
thirst begin, huh?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's so
You know
funny.
what? I might give that. I'll clip this, and this will be my hey. This is how to edit, and I'll use this as a.
All right, there you go.
There we go.
And by the way, just in case you're wondering, I
Yeah.
do live in London, UK.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know. Do you? I don't know if you know her, the YouTuber Melissa Jane.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I don't know if she was
She lives in
born.
Miami.
Yeah, she lives in Miami now, but by her accent, I know she spent quite
Yeah,
a few.
she's from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know about her and Jessica X and
Mm.
tons of them, tons. Yeah.
Yeah, London is taking over. I mean, if it's not in the world, it's on YouTube. My goodness, you guys are everywhere, everywhere. My goodness. No, what can we do? What can we do? It's okay. I love it. I always compliment her on her sexy accent. I'm like, I want your accent. Oh, where can I get one? Where did you buy it? I want it now. How much did it cost? Is it on Amazon? Amazon, is that it? Do I have to get Prime? No. All
Right.
right. We'll continue the video, guys, here. Enough of me goofing around.
All right.
To spend the day, get away, refresh my mind, catch a vibe, whatever's whatever. You know what I mean? So let's go out to Brighton, enjoy the day, and whatever comes to mind, we'll talk about it. Okay?
I'll do a quick little pause because again, I don't want to risk too much, even though I know
It's
you
okay.
said 2 minutes. But
It's okay.
no, I did like that little transition that you did, where it's like it
Mm-hmm.
swiped it. That I do like. I always like doing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the transition, the swipe is always my favorite. So, but I love the music, and you said that you did the music on your own. That was you. That
Yes. I
oh,
wrote
excellent.
and produced the
Mm.
music. Yeah.
Do you use a particular editor, editing software for that, or
For the music or for the
for the
video?
for the music?
Um, I use a program called Logic Pro X.
Logic Pro X, yeah, because for me, it's like obviously I'm not going to start producing my own music. It's a little much for me, but especially because I do want to potentially do voiceovers, and
Yeah.
I find that Canva doesn't really do that. OBS
No,
doesn't
no, no, no,
really
no,
do
no, no.
that. So,
If you want to do
it-
voiceovers, you're better off going with a solid program.
mm,
I don't know what kind of computer you have, if it's Windows or Mac.
it's
I have Mac. It's
yeah,
Windows.
Windows,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Um, I can email you some really solid programs and you know that you can use. Um, and then once you have a really basic good mic,
Hmm.
um, and off you go. Because like I said, the 90% is going to be about your personality and not so
Mm,
much, you know, if it's perfect in this way.
yeah.
Because if you do that, you'll spend hours when you could have spent 30 minutes.
Hmm.
Let it go on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Because, the more you get into business, the more you realize time is money.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why I want to like. Okay, I know I need to like. I'm glad you mentioned the mic because that's my next step is getting a decent mic,
Yeah.
but also getting a good software program because I not right now I feel like I jump here for that, jump over there for this, and there's like it's
Yes.
too like you said I'm wasting a lot of time to go here back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like okay, like you said, it's like time is money. I kind of need to get to the point and
Right.
get going and do other things, you know. So we'll play a little another minute or so, and then I'll
Yeah, you
get
can
back to
fast
the
forward.
chat. Yeah.
You can fast
We'll,
forward so you
okay,
could.
so I'll
But
go to a random spot here. One second.
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna see. You're at the beach. I'm sure
Yes.
all the ladies are gonna ask if you're wearing a speedo or not. So we're gonna find out, ladies, if he's a one piece kind of guy or a speedo. So we'll find out. We'll find out, ladies. I
by the by the way,
investigate. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out to a celebrity in the house.
Oh, 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 oh.
Uh, my beautiful friend, the one and only Patrice Garner.
Oh, Patrice. I'm so glad that you're here, Patrice. I know you were in here before, and I guess you had to step away. Sorry I couldn't greet you myself. I'm obviously screen sharing, so I can't see the chat. But thank you for Patrice for being here and for participating in the chat. If anybody does want to come into the panel, I did earlier scroll up, put the StreamYard trash can waves if you can, if you're not being too much of a bad boy in the chat, if you can repost it, that would be much appreciated. All right, ladies, so the burning question: does Mike wear speedos or one piece? We're gonna find out,
There you
hopefully,
go.
the answer to the question. So
All
let's
right.
scroll here and find out. Right about here seems to be right. Come on, cooperate with me. There we
The
go. Yeah.
British Airways 360 viewing tower. And there you have it. It goes quite a distance all the way up. So I'm thinking I may just go for the adventure and get on it. And let's see what the vibe is about. So, should I? Should I not? Should I? Should I not? Well, we'll figure it out. It's not a problem.
And it looks like, ladies, unfortunately, we might not find out the answer. Darn it. Darn it. He baited us. He baited us, ladies. Throw it
Yeah, I know.
a
Clickbait sucks.
clickbait,
Huh?
you know? Throw a thumbs down, ladies, in the chat for this.
Go for it.
Boo!
A load of thumbs down. That's fine. That's fine. YouTube, listen. YouTube recognizes thumbs down as good content. That's fine.
Exactly. So, any news is good news, right? Or
Exactly.
uh, so we'll stop their share there. But thank
All
you
right.
for
That's
allowing
fine.
me that moment. But yeah, okay, because I see here that he doesn't have the link, so I'm gonna repost. Hopefully, somebody somewhere wants to come and have a conversation, maybe ask you some more personal questions. So,
That's fine.
ladies, I remind you, this handsome man is single. So, if you want to shoot your shot, now may be the chance of a lifetime. So you're not.
Wow.
Hey,
Girl,
look.
you're really selling me, huh?
Hey, listen. We're both single, and look, if you can leave this place, this panel with a date, I at least one of us, like come on,
Wow. All
you
right.
know. So, ladies, come on up.
So when are you
Uh,
gonna cam up, by the way?
when the second coming of Jesus has arrived.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So you're gonna have to coordinate with him, okay?
I think I'll stick with just using my dreams and my imagination as to what you look like. How about that?
Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that.
I tell you what, I'll even take it a step further by your permission.
Yes, go
So,
ahead.
do I have total permission, if and when that happens, that I can take advantage of you in my dreams?
Um, yes, you have my permission. Go for it. As long as it's not a nightmare, I'm fine. I can live with that.
Well, at least if it's a nightmare, you won't be there for it.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Oh, thank you. And we do have somebody. that hopefully is going to have you as part of their dreams.
You
We
know what I
have,
mean?
we have OG Patrice that has decided to be
Yes.
part of the panel. So I'm going to let her up, and
Come on, come on.
hopefully she's got some questions for you about your singledom and if you're going to end it with her. So let's see what she
Ooh
has to
wee.
say.
This is gonna get
Let's see.
juicy.
Oh, I know we're with inquiring minds want to know.
All
Okay,
right.
Patrice. So what do you say? Are you looking for Mike or not?
I'm single, that is for
Yes. Oh,
sure. But
Mike. She's
but
single. Let.
I want to ask my musician buddy a
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
couple of questions.
Go for it.
How is it being single over there across the big pond there?
It is no different than being single in any part of the world.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
I've never been over there, not even for a gig. I always wanted to visit England.
yeah,
Always
yeah,
wanted to go. I
yeah.
love the accent. I wish I could speak like that every day of my life. Because I love the accent. It's so sexy and yeah, I just love it anyway. But so how long have you been living over there?
It's going to be 6 years.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
You
and by the way,
so you
Patrice,
like it? So you think that's home for you?
f- for the time being, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind moving to another country. I'm not I'm not necessarily bound to one because it's always been my thinking that for as long as I have my skills and my talent, and my skills and my talent can be used any part of the world, any
Right.
part.
You're absolutely right.
So yeah,
And you know how our lives is. You kind of go where the
yeah,
action is. You go where
yeah,
the
yeah.
money is. You go,
As as a
for
matter of
you to
fact,
be able to do that. So
as a matter of fact, with what we do, well, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know what me and Patrice are saying, by the way, Patrice, and I'm just gonna give you your 15-second uh soliloquy here. Patrice is what you call a prime singer, okay? For those of you that don't know, and also, in her years of, singing professionally and all this other stuff, she's worked with many people. And as a matter of fact, spoiler alert, she's on a couple of things that probably some of y'all have heard and don't even realize that's Patrice. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay.
Uh-oh, we need Patrice. You need to spill the tea. What were you on? What were you on? And is there a potential love connection between you and Mike?
I
Go
listen
for
to you up here trying to play,
it.
trying to play stupid. Look at she stole my thunder.
Look, I gotta do something here,
She
like I
Um,
stole
said,
my thunder. He's
uh,
all the
uh,
way across the big pond. He's so
since
far away.
hey, listen, since like you said, you've never traveled to London for a gig. I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody could, maybe might have a project that he could bring you on, right, Mike? Hint, hint, wink,
you
wink.
never know. Or,
Come on.
or how
You are
about
too.
this? How about this? Maybe I could say she stole my thunder could be my date, and Patrice can be the wing woman.
No,
Ah.
no, 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 no,
Ah,
no.
there you go.
No, no, no,
Uh-huh.
no, 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 no.
Because you're
Don't you?
single too. She stole my thunder, right? You're over
Yeah,
there in
yes.
Canada, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I mean, we want him to have a woman of class here, so that's definitely you, Patrice. So no,
Wow. So what are you trying to say
No,
about yourself? You don't have
no,
class?
you have class too, my lady. Okay, I
no,
see
no,
you
no, no.
all in these YouTube streets, and you are always a lady. And this is my first time on your panel, so thank you very much for allowing me to come up. I have checked out a couple of your other videos, and I tell you, I'm very intrigued. You are very interesting, and I can tell you're very intelligent, and that's what attracts me to your channel as well. Like it does, before the billions and all of that, but.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool being up here for the first time with you.
Thank you for being here. And although I'm not sure who all these compliments are for. I mean, are you sure you got the right person, OG Patrice? I don't
What do
know
you
if it's
mean?
are you,
No,
you know, I think
it's
you got it confused.
deserving.
No,
No,
but
no,
thank
no.
you.
No. I see you. You support everybody, and I see you in
I
these
try.
YouTube streets, and you do just like Big Time Drama. I mean, Big Time Drama and I, we have a lot in common, being in the entertainment industry, and he's worked with some people that I've worked with. We've had conversations and all of
Mm,
that, and he's a good guy, and he's very, very talented because I'm subscribed to
mm,
his channel. And I check out his body of work that he's doing online, and I'm familiar with the body of work he's done with some of the
mm,
artists that share commonality. But your one of your moderators
mm-hmm.
in the chat by the name of Trash Can Waves.
Oh
Oh
my
yes,
God.
See, big time. I told him on Melissa's channel that I was gonna make him eat humble pie. So I'm gonna just
mm-hmm.
need him to be
Ooh, I was just
humble.
waiting, and I was waiting
I
too.
just want him to be
I was waiting.
humble while he checked that picture out that I got up on my
Oh,
avatar.
Uh-huh,
Now I
uh-huh.
told him I was gonna
oh,
You know
make
he
him
gonna
eat a
talk
little
trash.
humble pie. So
You
compliments
know
of
he
me
gonna
and
talk
Monique.
trash.
Okay, so I'm
yeah,
gonna really
Uh-huh.
need you to be
mhm.
humble, trash can ways.
Uh,
Trash. I know.
You know
I'll.
he gonna troll.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I might need to block him too. I don't know. I don't know.
Uh-uh.
Trash.
No,
Trash.
that's his
You're.
specialty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That the I've learned from Mrs. B Finesse to like when I see trash can wave comment, I'm like, let me read it before I put it up on the screen because although he does bring up a good point, Patrice, you did change the subject. Are you and
No,
Mike
no,
going
I
to?
wasn't trying to change the subject. I
I
just
don't
only want
know.
to say. But listen, I
Mhm.
listen, Mike is a very handsome man. I do not deny that, none
Mm,
whatsoever. But
Thank
Mike
you.
of
is all the
course.
way across the other side of the pond. But listen, me and
Mhm.
Mike have conversations, so we're good. We're good
Oh, conversations about what? I'm curious.
Well,
about
let's
what
Hmm.
we
just
do,
let's just
about
say
our
this way.
love, our
Uh,
passion,
Yeah,
oh,
let's just say
for each
this
other?
way.
For each
Let's just say
other,
this
or
way.
for
just?
what we do.
Oh,
We have
sure.
we have
Okay. Mm-hmm.
we share what is called platonic love. We don't share
Ah.
the kind of love that you would like for it to be, you know.
Okay.
And by the way,
Hmm.
me and Patrice are perfectly content and fine with it.
Of course, of
Absolutely.
course. No, I
Yep.
have no
Absolutely.
doubt. So you
Yep.
hear that, ladies in the audience, you still have a chance with Mike if you will.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
so any ladies, if you're single and you're mingling, come on up and maybe here's your chance to find love in the UK and maybe get a trip over there to London, even if it's for the weekend. Come on, ladies, don't be shy. Don't be shy. There's
I'm gonna hire you as my personal matchmaker. She stole my thunder. Okay.
You know what? You know what? I got a perfect video for you. She stole my thunder.
yes, go for it.
You should do a show dedicated to being matchmaking.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
Yep.
interesting.
Yep.
That might be an idea. You know what? I'll put it to a vote. I'll give you a second. I'll
There
put
you
it
go.
on the poll for this live and see what everybody thinks.
All
Hopefully
right.
everybody agrees and we'll see what everybody has to
All right.
say on it. This will take a moment. So Patrice or Mike, if you guys have questions or something, feel free to go ahead.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So, Patrice, when was the picture taken?
This was when she had her residency in Las Vegas.
Nice.
Remember on
Nice.
Melissa's panel, I said my girlfriend, who's a comedian,
Yes.
opened up for Monique,
Yes.
and that's when I met Monique. She's really cool. I got to hang out with her with my girlfriend and everything, her and her husband. It was really cool. But that was after her show. We kind of like hung out, and yeah, we took a couple pictures then.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
she is, listen very well, Trash Can. She
Oh
is
boy.
very humble. She's a humble person, Trash Can. You ought to try it sometime.
Oh,
Listen.
Trash cannot catch a break. TLA was on him before. Now you're on him. Hey, look,
We all were on him.
yeah.
I had so
Yeah.
much fun the other night with them guys up there on Melissa's
Oh my
platform. So
God.
cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, and I'm so glad to see Melissa is also doing very well, and how her channel has grown. I
Yeah.
unfortunately had my own live stream as well last night, so I wasn't able to participate as much. But she's always a fun personality to watch, and I like her style of how she does things too, where most of the time she presents like kind of journalistic
Hmm.
presentations, and oh, this event that happened in that event, but to have that Friday night where it's more loosey goosey, and
Yeah.
she's just talking about whatever. For her, it definitely suits her, and it's definitely a good thing. And I like her commercials. I think it suits her well. Like you have that little commercial breaks where she can take 2 seconds to do whatever she needs to do. So yeah.
Hmm.
I know we kind of took over her platform for a while there. She had went out and got something to eat and came
Yep.
back.
She bought fries and everything.
Yeah, she went to
I
get something to eat. It
yeah,
was it was fun though. We had a good time. So I
of
like
course,
to
of
be able to
course.
have fun and let loose. But
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Listen,
No, yeah.
even while she was streaming, she almost had a Tasha K moment being a wino.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to I'll rewatch it because I didn't see all of it. But yeah, no, I definitely, and I mean that's the dangerous part when you have alcohol and doing a video on YouTube. It can get a little bit different. Let's just put it that way. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's for
Well,
sure. No.
shout out to you and shout out to your chat. Shout out to my buddy up here, big time
That's
Jerome.
right.
We
That's
we
right.
we
Much
we're gonna
love.
be listening. We have so much in common in it as far as the entertainment business, and
Yeah.
found out
Yeah.
we know a lot of
Beautiful.
people. So
Beautiful.
we're gonna be longtime friends.
All right,
And
good.
you
It's always
and you,
glad to
and you
hear.
never know. You never know what life
There might be
has.
one or two surprises, so
We
I'll
may
Yeah,
be
be
able to
lookout.
meet one day, you never know. But yeah, I just wanted
Yeah.
to come up for a bit and say hello and to tell you that I love your channel. She Stole My Thunder. Those books you were talking about, I used to be an avid reader, and
mm,
I have not been able to get back into reading like I want to, and I definitely need to do that. But
I hear
yeah,
you.
yeah, so thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, and I hope that your channel grows just as big as all the rest of the game, because you are very supportive of everyone in this little community out here in these YouTube streets. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, OG Patrice, and thank you for those compliments. I truly do appreciate them. And thank you for coming up. I won't keep you any longer. Everybody, applause to Patrice and go check out her channel. Yay!
Yay!
All right, I'm gonna step out because El Guapo has the lead attorney on his channel, so I'm gonna go peep in over there and say hello
Of
and
course. Yeah.
make my rounds. But you guys take care, big time. I'll talk to you soon.
Of course, of course.
All right,
All right. One love.
thanks.
Thank you, Patrice. Have a good
You're
night.
welcome.
So yeah, that was fun. And of course, I was teasing about you and
No, I
Patrice,
know.
but
Yeah, we're good. We're
yeah,
good.
you got
We're good.
exactly. We have to shoot our shot, as they say. You never know. You never know. No, I kid. I kid.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll send you my virtual roses in an email.
Oh, I'll gladly accept them. Thank you so much. I rarely get flowers, so digital or real, I'll gladly take them. I'll
All
gladly
right. I'll
take
send
them.
you an email.
All right, perfect, perfect. Yeah, I'll check you out for sure. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say or talk
No,
about. Not
just
really.
wanted to, come and just have whatever, just talk about whatever, no rhyme or reason. But yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and get going myself. And
All right.
it was beautiful, to have this chat with you, and this won't be the last. And all I can tell you is just keep making videos and just keep being. She stole my thunder, and I hope to see you cam up, or hope to see your face and be able to say, "Oh my goodness, am I missing out on this?"
Well, that's gonna happen with you and OG Patrice could become a couple. How about that? Okay. No.
Nah,
Ah,
nah,
come on.
nah.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, big
All right.
time.
Much love, darling.
Much love to you. Have a good
All right.
night.
Have a good night.
All right. What wonderful guests. Thank you to Uncle Stu for being up on the panel. Thank you again, Patrice, for coming around. And thank you, of course, Big Time Drum for coming up as well. Um, And Wally, I'm not too sure what you mean. There a new video that you need to clip. I'm not too sure what you're talking about. And I know past couple of comments, I know you've been like, "Hey, it's a bait and switch." I hope so. I'm going to let you explain yourself. Explain before I address that comment any further. I'll put the link up just one last time in case anybody else decides to want a panel come up to the panel, sorry. I'll wait until 8:32, but I know that like Patrice said, um El Guapo has started his live or will start it shortly, so I know some of you or all of you may want to go to his live stream, and I take no personal offense to that if that's what you guys want to do. I understand that he's a big YouTuber and has a lot of very interesting things to say. Basically, I'll also check to see the poll in the meantime while I'm waiting to see what you guys have said so far. So, as far as the poll that I did earlier indicating whether you guys wanted me to continue doing the live streams on movies, everybody said yes. There were, I believe, 13 votes. So 13 people said yes, they want this to continue. So that's always good news. So I'll try to keep it consistently every Saturday night, somewhere between either 6 or 9 p.m. Um, I will, from what was said about my book series, that people want to hear me continue doing that one as well. Just in case anybody has a Sunday afternoon free, sorry, Sunday evening, I will have my second installment in Let's Talk. How do you say? Where I teach you guys some French. So you guys are more than welcome to come and join me on that. And yes, the book. The book is about book series right now is about the 48 laws of power. So last night, for those who want to watch it, it was chapter one. Next week, it will be chapter two. After that, if you guys want, either in this chat or in the comments of my first video, you can, suggest a book that maybe you want to talk about. For me, I don't know, and you guys can, maybe right now, because I see Lashes says that we ain't going nowhere. You can't get rid of us. If you guys want to suggest, because I was thinking of maybe like a book club kind of series where everybody, we reread, like I assign a book earlier in the month or the year or whatever. And I say, okay, we have until whatever date and time. We read the book together. And whoever has read the book or wants to, come up on the panel, that we take the time to read it. Or not read it, review it, I should say, together. I don't know if that's a good idea. You guys tell me if that's something that makes sense to you, because obviously, as you guys know, hey, look, I can sit up here and talk to the wall all night long. That's not a problem, but obviously these lives would be very boring if it's just me talking for half an hour, 2 hours, whatever amount of time it is. It's definitely a lot more interesting when you guys are coming up on the panel and talking. So again, if that sounds like an idea that you want, hey, let's have a book club. Go pick a book, talk about it X amount of time later. If that sounds like something you would want to do, let me know. If not, like I said, I can continue with the format where for half an hour I talk about my thoughts on the book, and anybody who's read it will come up and talk. If not, well, we have a half an hour stream and that's it, but it's fine. It's great either way. And, as I said before, I appreciate any amount of support that you guys give me, whether it's simply being ridiculous in the chat or being part of the panel or simply having my video or live stream or playlist, whatever it might be, on a second tab playing in the background. I appreciate any help that you guys do. Um, this is my habit that I'm trying to install. It's of course, although all of that I appreciate. As you guys heard, hey, look, I do want more equipment, better equipment. If you want me to sound even more French, even sexier than I sound, well, I do need a new microphone. So if you guys want to support me in my future endeavors, please send me a few French fries to my PayPal account. I will find it now in and send it into the live stream. Any kind of support, like I said, I appreciate. So don't feel obligated to send me money. I understand finances are tough. And I don't want you guys to break the bank for me, please. I do want to make sure that you guys take care of your bills and your financial responsibilities before uh, going into debt or any kind of difficulty for me. Um, that's not something I want to see you guys do for me or for anybody. So that's why I keep telling you guys any support you can give me is appreciated. So even if it's a comment, a like, a subscribe, a share, yeah, that share button is also free, guys. You can share this live with anybody or the live I'm going to be doing tomorrow. You guys can click the share button, have your friends be part of it, and learn French with me if that's what you guys want to do. So, like I said, that's how all of our channels grow. Not just talking about the hot button topics, but it's also about having good content and about us advertising each other, right? If we want to grow as individuals, the best and easiest ways if our entire community is grown as well, and that we support each other, that we shout each other out. So speaking of which, don't be afraid to go check out Real Talk with Melissa Berrien. Don't forget to go to Melissa Jane, who also talks about tech. Before the Billions as well, he talks a lot about tech. And of course, don't forget to go to the channels of the people that you saw on the panel today. All three of them have YouTube channels, guys. Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, definitely has a channel that's very interesting. He talks about men's issues and a community and really building and supporting each other. Of course, as you saw, OG Patrice and Mike are both in the entertainment industry. Patrice has a singing background, and as you saw, Mike is a drummer. So definitely check them out, guys. All three of their channels at some point was uh, part of, sorry, excuse me, part of the chat. So please take a moment to go subscribe to them, like, comment on their channel, share their content as well. And of course, ladies, if you are single, Mike is single. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're single, you got Patrice, and she's a singer. So hey, come on, guys. These two people should not be single. Okay, they should definitely not be single. But of course, don't tell them that I told you guys that. All right, it's our secret, our secret. Okay. So, thank you, Trash Can Waves. You were definitely a lot faster than I was for putting out my PayPal. And again, guys, don't feel like you have to send me money. If all you can do today is share my video with somebody else, that will be much appreciated. Like, comment, subscribe is also a great way of comment. And even if you dislike, for YouTube, that's still a good thing. So, but please don't dislike my videos. I like to know that you like me. You like me, right? You like me. Thank you, blind guy, his wife. Yeah, it's our secret, folks. Okay. Remember, it's Las Vegas rules in the lives. Okay, what happens in the lives stays in the lives. Okay. So I'm glad that you came back. I know you guys said that you had to go do something. I believe it was a party. I don't know if you're still at the party or was just a figure of speech or something. But either way, I hope that you are having a great night. Um, Now I see that nobody else really wants to come up to the panel, which is fine. I understand that it is Saturday at 8 o'clock. So you guys might be a little bit tired and may not necessarily be in the mood, which is absolutely fine. So on this note, I will take it as a cue to end the live stream. No, it's don't, okay, yeah. Wally, come on now. We we don't need to know. Come on, Wally. Come on. I don't want anybody to again feel forced that to leave a donation. Okay, it's hopefully whatever you guys do for me is out of generosity of heart. Although blind guy, his wife, their life, I think I might know who your anonymous donor is. I might know. I might know. Na 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 boo boo. Stick your head. No, I won't finish that one. So, on that note, like I said, guys, I'm going to end the live stream here. You're painting. Oh, that's fantastic. I hope you're making that into a live stream, Lashes. I want to see you painting. So, if after I end this, I'm not seeing you on a live, hmm, I have to wonder, are you really a YouTuber? Are you one of us, Lashes? And oh, you're still at the party. We'll have an extra cocktail for me. Um, so yeah, so I hope you guys have a great night. So we'll end the conversation here. And don't forget, you guys know this line well enough. If there's somebody in your life that you have not had the opportunity in a while to say I love you, or to hug them, or even just to say hi, go do that now, guys. You never know what could happen to you or to anybody else. You cannot say I love you too much. You cannot hug people too much. You cannot say hi to people too much. So, like Melissa Berrien would say, do it. Do it now. So, I hope you guys have a great night. And I hope to see you guys in the streams, whether it's your own or whether it's other people's streams. So, have a great night. And of course, since we're all freedom fries here, we will say goodnight to each other en français. Donc, bonne soirée et merci d'avoir été là. J'espère de vous revoir. Merci énormément pour tout le monde.